Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What's going on, guys? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. Today's going to be a good episode. I'm talking to all of you guys that are trying to get to $20K a month consistently. I'm going to teach you exactly how I did it in my home service business and how I've literally helped hundreds of other companies do the exact same thing, proven, tried and true, not theory, and it's literally going to shut you up. After this episode, you're not ever going to be able to say again, I don't know how to grow my business. I'm going to teach you today how to get to $20K a month consistently, and you're going to have the proven playbook, blueprint, whatever you want to call it, to get there. Before we dive in, first, I need to tell you guys thank you, because so many of you guys support my company, serviceindustrycoach.com, whether it be ordering print marketing material, whether you guys are doing coaching, consulting with me. We've built a lot of websites recently for you guys. And by the way, if you own a smaller business and you don't have a ton of money for a really nice, clean website, that's what we specialize in. We build 6 sites for under $1,000 that convert prospects into customers. And so I need to tell you guys, thank you, because we are essentially a one-stop marketing shop for home service business owners, and a lot of you guys support us, and it's honestly what allows me to keep doing this and make it worth our time. So if you haven't supported us, if you haven't done business with us, I encourage you to. I think you will be massively surprised by the quality difference, especially in our print marketing, and not only just the quality, but how it actually converts people into customers. You're going to see better results. So if you want to give us a shot, postcards, door hangers, business cards, websites, coaching, serviceindustrycoach.com. Go check it out. Support us in that. It would mean the world. Second thing, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, please do. I don't know what happened. I think it's the algorithm, but over the weekend, we had a bunch of people randomly join. And I don't know if like the podcast gets shared and then, a bunch of people randomly see it and a bunch of new people go join, but we just had that happen. So whoever shared the podcast, thank you. If you guys hear episodes, you're like, man, this was valuable. Share it with a friend. Share it with the Facebook group. Help me grow and scale this thing. I want to help as many people as humanly possible. All right. So I thought it'd be fun to do an episode today. And honestly, if you're doing more than $20K a month, like you should still listen to this because there's just going to be a lot of good points in it. And it's going to kind of help you rethink the way you're doing your marketing and the way you think about it. But today I'm going to give you the blueprint of exactly what I did in my home service business to go from 0 to $20K a month super fast. Okay. I'm going to do another episode after this one of how to go from 20 to 50. And then I'll do one more episode to how to go from 50 and beyond. And so I think it'll be kind of a fun breakdown for you guys to see. So as you continue to build the business and you get to the 20K month range, you can then take everything I talk about from 20 to 50 and implement that. And then when you get to 50, you can take that final episode and implement that. All right. So back in the day, and by the way, everything I'm talking about, I did for almost a decade straight. Okay. Regardless of where we were at in revenue, there was some different things we did in order to scale the things I'm going to talk about today, but the principles are all the same, whether it's from 0 to 10, 10 to 20,000, 20 to 100, like it's all the same. There's just different methods and ways we think about it in order to scale. And so I started doing this stuff back in 2012. And just to be honest, like for those of you that haven't been around listening to the podcast for the last going on 7 years, the whole reason I even started this podcast was because I was going to conventions in the exterior cleaning world and talking to other business owners. I had a YouTube channel, and what I learned was our business was growing rapidly quick compared to almost everybody else I was talking to. And so I just naturally had people reaching out to me asking if I would help them with their marketing, ask them if I would hop on an hour phone call to coach them and do these things. And I wasn't even advertising it. It wasn't even something that was on the radar. And I did it for free for many, many years. And that's what really birthed this podcast was all of these people reaching out. And I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I can't do this for free. This is taking up a lot of my time. I have to find out a way to distribute this information on a more broad scale. And that's how this podcast was born. And so long story short, starting a decade ago, I was in what the shoes that a lot of you guys are in, where maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you've been in business for a couple years and you're just having a hard time finding a way to get that momentum going. And so I'm going to talk about early days, Matt Smith growing an exterior cleaning business here in Michigan, no employees, just me and a business partner. Okay. And this is what we did to go from 0 to 20,000. Now I want you to prepare yourself, because what I'm about to talk about is so simple. It's so simple that you're going to be like, that can't be real. But although it's simple, it is a lot of work. It is hard to be consistent, and almost nobody does what I'm about to tell you, okay? However, what I can guarantee, I will guarantee, if you do the things I talk about today, you will go from 0 to 20K months consistently this year, all right? So this is what we did. I was very specific on the neighborhoods we wanted to target. Now, you guys have heard my story. I live in a small town. There's like just over 4,000 people here. I knew long-term that wasn't going to be feasible, but for the first year, I knew that I could work out of our town and the next town over, which had about 15,000, and that could get me to where I wanted to go. And it did. And so we had a whiteboard. Okay. We worked out of the house, but had like this little, wasn't even a pole barn, dude. It was like this rundown building behind my rental house that I was renting at the time. And my landlord let me use it for like an extra $250 a month. And so we had this whiteboard in there, and we had all the neighborhoods written down on the whiteboard that we wanted to hit. And what we would do is when we hit these neighborhoods, we would come back to our little dilapidated freaking office, I guess you could call it, and we would write the date next to it of the day we went and did those neighborhoods. And so what we did was we kept track of the same neighborhoods every single month. And this was the playbook. Not only were the neighborhoods that we targeted for us houses that would need our services. So for like us, a big service was house washing, right? Power washing. It was our biggest order, right? Our average order value really went up when we were able to pair like house washing, window cleaning, gutter cleaning together. So we were always picking houses that had lots of vinyl siding, because vinyl siding gets moldy and green and gross, and people need their house washed on a regular basis. And so those were the kind of neighborhoods that we targeted, were houses with that. But on top of that, we also handpicked neighborhoods that had mailboxes with newspaper boxes attached. And so a lot of neighborhoods will either have like all the same mailbox and they'll have newspaper boxes built in, or we would target neighborhoods that had all different kinds of mailboxes, but majority of them had newspaper boxes. Now there were neighborhoods that didn't have newspaper boxes at all, and we would do door hangers for those. But the reason we really liked the newspaper boxes is because we didn't have to get out of the car, and we could do a mass amount of postcards every single day. And so this was the playbook. We had our neighborhoods targeted. We had them written down. We were going to do them every 30 days, and we would do 10,000 postcards / door hangers per month to the same neighborhoods every 30 days. And I'm going to break this down for you so you guys can understand the power of it. If you're sitting in front of your computer and you want to write this on a piece of paper so you can see it, it might even make more sense to you. But what I learned, and by the way, when I first started, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what offers did and didn't work. I didn't know what designs did and didn't convert. I didn't know anything. And so the first thing that I did was I went with what I thought would work based on a little side hustle lawn care business I had back in my high school years. And what I did in my high school years was I had a paper flyer, and on it said lawn care includes, trimming, blowing, and cutting the grass. And then I would handwrite a price and I would put it on people's front door, right? I was hustling, right? And it crushed. Like, I think my first year doing lawn care, I had like 70 accounts, which, now looking back isn't anything crazy, but like for not knowing what I was doing, I'm like, wow, that kind of works. So I'm like, okay, well, if that worked, maybe it will work in this business too. So what we did was we got 5x7 postcards, and we also got door hangers designed up, and it was a matte finish, and we would put window cleaning with a blank spot, house washing with a blank spot next to it, gutter cleaning with a blank spot next to it. And I would go through these neighborhoods, and the houses in a lot of these neighborhoods are very, very similar. And so before I would go to them, typically I would handwrite prices. So window cleaning starting at $99, house washing starting at $297, like whatever the number was. And then I would go put these in mailboxes, and I would do 10,000 of these every single month. Never would miss, ever, for years on end, okay? And this is how we went from zero to $20,000. So let me give you the breakdown. When we would put out 10,000 postcards, okay, we use a 5x7. We found that 5x7s, they, you could do a 4x6 too, but the 4x6 is really small. So we would do a 5x7. It's a little bit bigger, but it still fits in the newspaper boxes super easy. And it gave us a little bit more real estate to handwrite our prices in. So we would put out 10,000 of these every single month. And on average, we were getting a 0.5% return rate, which meant every 10,000 postcards / door hangers we put out, we'd get roughly 50 calls. Now in that business, because it's not a super high ticket business, I had a 70% close rate. That was what I was always shooting for. If I was, getting up in the 80s, 90%, like closing 8 out of 10 bids, I'm raising my prices. If I'm dropping below, I'm asking myself why. My price is too high. Am I getting lazy on my sales pitch? What am I doing wrong? So 70% close rate was my average. So that means out of the 50 calls we would get, I would close roughly 30 to 35 jobs. Okay, pretty good. In that business at the time, we had about a $500 average order value. So that meant out of 35 jobs with a $500 average order value, it was producing about $17,000, $17,500-ish per month in revenue. Okay, now depending on how you split this up, for us, we were able to do majority postcards, but we did some door hangers as well. Some of you guys will have to do all door hangers because you don't have newspaper boxes. It doesn't matter, okay? But depending on how you split it up, based on cost, door hangers cost a little bit more. So if you go to our company, serviceindustrycoach.com, for 10,000 door hangers, this includes design, printing, and shipping them to your front door. It's just under $1,400, right? That means we got a 12.5x return on our money with door hangers if we were to do 10,000 just straight door hangers. Now for postcards are a little bit cheaper. They're easier to print on. They're easier to cut. For 5x7 postcards with our company, it's $799 for 10,000. So that means if you were to do that, it would have been a 22x return. So let me break this down for you. Just envision this for a second. You put $1 in the machine. The machine spits you back out 12. How does that feel? Now, how does this feel? You put $1 in a machine. It spits you back 22. You're like, dang, I like that. Right. And so that got us to $17,000-ish per month right there. Now, the other $2,000 or $3,000, we would always make up in organic. So this means referral. This means cold outreach. This means cold emailing businesses, things that are free. Okay. And not only would those make up for the $2,000 or $3,000, let's say I landed a property management company that could easily put us into the $30,000 or $40,000 per month right there. And so this is the formula, you guys. Like if you own a home service business, this is so easy. It is the easiest playbook to follow. You're like, well, why doesn't everybody do that? Everybody doesn't do it because it's hard. It's fatiguing on the mind. If you're doing all door hangers, it can be fatiguing on the body. But at the end of the day, how bad do you want it? Because what I learned was when I did this for about 2 years straight, and I saved the money to reinvest back into my business that we were making, right? We're doing 20, 30, 40K months, and I'm saving the profit to reinvest it back into the business. What happened very quickly over the next 12 and 24 months was I was able to start to allocate that money into more automated style marketing, right? Google Ads, Everdoor Direct Mail. So now instead of putting out 10,000 per per month by hand. Maybe I'm only doing 7,500 and I'm mailing 2,500. Okay. And I was slowly able to transition that. And then I was able to start to really scale. And we'll talk about that in a different episode. But you guys, you don't need to think about anything else. The only thing you need to think about is what I told you. If you're not at $20,000 months right now, this is the best, cheapest, and fastest, most predictable way to do it. Is it fun? No. Does it make you money? Yes. If you like putting $1 in and getting $12 to $20 back, this is the blueprint, period. So if you're not at 20K months and you don't go and buy freaking 10,000 postcards today, you don't want it bad enough. You don't. This isn't like, I'm not the only guy that's ever done this. I can't tell you how many businesses I've implemented this basic strategy in. Now, there's a caveat here. Like, you can't just use any door hanger. You can't just use any postcard. It took me, years, you guys, to come up with like our 5 to 7 templates that we used over and over and over and just rotated. I can't tell you how many months I sent out every door direct mail and it flopped. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on direct mail for a single month and I made almost no money because the design was wrong. The offer was wrong. There was no urgency. The title was wrong. So the disclaimer here is you can't just go print a door hanger with your logo on it and your business information and say window cleaning or lawn care or roofing and think you're going to get a return. There's a science behind this, and we have proven it, okay? Time and time and time again. There's guys on the internet today, right now, who are running around as business coaches in the home service business space who worked with me 5 and 6 years ago and implemented this exact thing. And they will tell you in their content, in their videos, in their coaching calls that this is how they started and this is what they're teaching. Why? Because it works. It works. Hundreds of clients that I've worked with have done this, and now they have businesses that are doing 1, 2, 5 million a year because it scales. And so I wanted to share this episode with you guys today because I think sometimes we overcomplicate it. Should I be running Facebook ads? Should I be running Google ads? Should I be doing print marketing? Should I be going to chamber events? Should I join a BNI group? Dude, if you're not doing 20K months consistently, this is all you should be doing. And by the way, if you're doing 20K months and you're not doing what I just said, if you do this, you'll double. It's that simple, you guys. And this isn't like an advertisement to go buy door hangers and postcards from us, although I know without a shadow of a doubt, there's nobody better in the business than us doing this. This is just hey, this is the blueprint. If you want to go figure it out on your own as far as offers and designs and all that, that's cool, you can. But this is the blueprint. Go do it, dude. I just gave you the sauce to go do $20,000 a month. If you were doing 20K months in revenue, what would that do for you and your family? For most people, it would change their life. Okay? And if you're small, depending on what your service and business is, your overhead is probably very low. So your profit margin on that is probably pretty good. You'll probably be making more money than you ever have. And the only thing holding you back from doing it is the work. It's the work. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's not fair to say. The second thing that's holding a lot of you back is spending the $800 or the $1,400 on the print marketing, right? And that's okay. If you're like, oh, the $1,400 for door hangers, that's crazy. You're going to lose, dude. Because the guy who understands it, he doesn't look at it as $1,400. He looks at it as I put $1 in, I get $12 back. Right? He doesn't look at the postcards as, oh, they're $800. He looks at it as, oh, I put $1 in, I get $20 back. That's how successful people look at it. That's how people who actually understand business look at marketing. Okay? They don't look at the price tag of what it costs. They look at what it generates. They look at the revenue that it generates. And then they make a decision on whether or not that marketing source is worth it. Now, the last thing I want to add in here. This is one of those things, and this is all marketing, by the way, so take this for what I'm saying for the blueprint I just laid out for you, but I'm talking about all marketing. You cannot do marketing, whether it's Google ads, Facebook ads, direct mail, putting postcards and door hangers out by hand for 1 month and think that you are going to see a top-notch return and result. All marketing must be done for a long period of time in order to build momentum. Let me give you an example of how this looks and how it works. So let's just say you were to take this blueprint. You're like, Matt, I'm going to do it word for word. I'm ordering the postcards. We're putting them in newspaper boxes, putting door hangers on front doors. We're doing 10,000 a month. Every single month that you do that, it will get better and better and better. And when people hear me say you should do the same houses every 30 days, they're like, that seems like a lot. What you don't understand is, dude, the world doesn't think about your business like you do. Not only do they not really care about your business, they never think about it. So the thought that you think you can put a door hanger on someone's front door once every 60 or 90 days and they're going to remember you is foolish. They're not going to remember you. They're only going to start to recognize you by month 6 of doing it every 30 days. And this is what we have found to be true. When we did this for years on end, I mean, I'm talking we did this for 7 or 8 years straight. Same houses, same neighborhoods. We were scaling to different neighborhoods, but we were always continually marketing to the same houses over and over. Not only were people trusting us, not only did we start to build brand, but people were actually referring us who never had even used us. Why? Because one of their friends said, I need my windows cleaned. Do you know of any companies? And they're like, yeah, dude, we get these postcards freaking all the time from this dirt hunter company. Try them. Why? Because they were getting postcards from us for 5 years straight. If I would have been putting a door hanger on their front door once every 90 or 120 days, twice, 3, 4 times a year, they would never even have thought of us when their friend asked them if they knew of anybody. But because we relentlessly marketed to that client over and over and over for years on end, our return would get better and better and better. And that's the way marketing works. Just like it takes time to build momentum inside of your business in all other areas, marketing is no different. The first, second, third month are not going to feel like they're on fire. But the longer you do it, the more momentum you will build. And that's why I always tell people, dude, if you get busy, do not stop marketing because you will have to start over and rebuild momentum. And building momentum in marketing specifically is really hard. Okay, so this is the blueprint right here. 10,000 door hangers or postcards, same houses every month. Outside of that, you should be emailing property managers or any kind of commercial buildings or business owners that would potentially need your services. You'll make up the other 2-3K at minimum doing that. Okay, especially if you're emailing 25 to 50 a week. And there you go. There's your 20K months right there. I just gave you the blueprint. You're welcome. Now go do something with it. Okay, I'm going to put the link to our website in case you guys actually want to pull the trigger on some print stuff. That link's always in the show notes, but you can just go to our website, order it right there. We'll literally plug and play templates, designs, offers into your business that are proven to work. And this is it, man. So I'll do another episode. I don't know if it'll be the next one, but I'll do another episode of what it looks like to go from 20 to 50. Okay, and then 50 plus is just doing the same thing at scale. All right, it's just doing the same thing that got you from 20 to 50 at scale. It's that easy, you guys. In the home service business world, nobody has it better than you. I can tell you right now, there's no SaaS company, there's no technology company, there's no e-commerce company that are getting 12 and 22x returns on their marketing. E-com brands, okay, brands that are selling products online who are running Facebook ads and Google ads, they are happy to put $1 in and get $2 back. They are happy with that. You guys are putting $1 in and getting $12 to $20 back. Take advantage of this, you guys. I don't know if this is going to be like this forever, but it is right now. And if you sacrifice the next 2 years doing exactly what I'm telling you right now, you're going to build a business that goes from 0 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to whatever you want it to be. The only thing stopping you is the work. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.